Welcome back to the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast, NWA kind of review. We'll get into the reasons why it's a kind of review in a minute, but fresh from her hollybobs, back home in East Kilbride, I think
Oh,
it's.
well remembered,
Hello,
yeah.
hello, Ian. How are you?
I'm all right, thanks. Not bad. I had a good week. Woken up in an empty house this morning, a little bit strange, but all good.
Good, excellent. And your holiday was all good and refreshed?
It was great. We had some summer down in Yorkshire, which was
Never.
lovely, which is more can be said for up here. So yeah, I'm home for 24 hours and then I'm away again in the morning.
I
So
know the holidays. Actually, in a couple of weeks, so we'll be doing the NWA Power review, and I will be on holiday.
oh nice.
I'll be down visiting my folks the year to the day that I was in hospital.
Oh God, yeah.
It's nearly been a year. Would you believe it? Nearly been a
That's
year.
mad.
Crazy, isn't it? But yes, we're going to talk NWA as always. We've managed to somewhat watch Power, and more on that in a minute. A lot more contracts were signed over the weekend, exclusive contracts. Kenzie Paige being one of them. I don't think that was a big surprise though, considering
Nah, I wouldn't have thought so
you
for
know.
anyone, to be honest with you.
But no, but always good to see them re-signing the name, especially the ones that those kind of ones that are very important to them.
Yeah,
Usually.
absolutely, absolutely.
And the only one I think's missing at the moment is Latimer. I think is one of the
Yeah, there's nothing from him. That was interesting.
no, not yet. Anyway, they with NWA they were
They're
now
kind of drip feeding them though, aren't they?
yeah.
So,
So they may have signed. We just don't know as of yet. But it was back to the power station this week. We've had our Crockett Cup fulfilled, at least for this year, anyway. Back to the power station. This episode was called "Gaming Like a Wrecking Ball."
I
Um,
love
I know,
it.
great main event, the great names for power these power episodes. Obviously, this is going to be headlined by EC3 and Wrecking Ball Legursky, which was set up prior to the Crockett Cup. For those of you that remember, there was an interview segment with both of these, and it got made, and we were like, well, "When's this going to happen?" Because he's got Sam Adonis coming up, and then.
Yeah,
But from memory, this was probably take prior to the Crockett Cup. I think
I
we
think so.
it's
Yeah. I think
we
these are from Tampa, these
yes.
ones. So
Back in Tampa, back at the power station, usual three on the booth. Obviously, it started off with a Crockett Cup recap from last week. The cold open was very nice. It was really selling the Southern Six.
oh, totally.
Yeah, doing it just. Interestingly enough, though, one of the matches that we'll get into that we didn't know was on, and there was a change to a match as well, which we'll get into.
Mhm.
One of the matches that wasn't even announced until the day of the show being come out on the CW app was Thom Latimer defending against Kerry Morton, which we'll get into. But that was, that's going to be a really interesting one, which we'll get into shortly. But first things first, it started off with, of course, NWA's tag team champions, Blunt Force Trauma with Aaron Stevens, Heavenly Butterflies. It was kind of a little I don't like to use the word squash. It was kind of an enhancement match for BF.
It was over pretty quickly, really, let's be honest.
It was indeed. It's kind of an enhancement match when Aaron doesn't get involved.
Yeah, and it wasn't obviously a championship match either,
No,
so it wasn't for the belts.
no, it certainly was not for the belts. I mean, listen, the Heavenly Butterflies done what they needed to do for the 6 minutes of the match that they had.
Was
Um,
it as long as that?
I don't know, may have even been less. I, I was literally drinking I couldn't drink coffee for the first couple of days of this week because of doing some tests, and I was drinking my bottle of water, and by the time I'd finished the water, the match had finished.
It was over,
It
yeah.
was over.
It was a quick win for BFT.
It was, but I still love the fact that they finished. I mean, they did try and one of them tried to drop kick. I can't remember if it was Damage or Carnage.
Carnage, I think it was
Carnage.
Carnage, yeah.
And then the signature drop kick finish that I love, and one of the things I love, and I always say it and I mention it about NWA when they do it, is the drop kick finish from BFT. Hits
It's
a
quite effective, let's be honest.
it is, and it's wonderful. And I love that throwback. One of the things I love about the NWA is the throwbackness of that. So the drop kick finish for Blunt Force Trauma. I just wonder, with the Southern Six being the Crockett Cup winners, do they get the shot at 76?
That would be interesting.
Hmm.
That would be interesting. I kind of feel like they probably will, but I also feel like the Southern Six are kind of in to take over with them winning the Crockett Cup with Alex winning the junior heavyweight championship, Kerry up against obviously tonight up against Thom for the national championship. I kind of feel like they're in to take all the gold they can get their hands on, to be honest with you. So it would be interesting to see if there was a clean sweep amongst them at some point down the line.
Yeah, definitely so. I mean, obviously, Alex is already a junior heavyweight
Yeah.
champ, and I'm assuming that will be defended at 76, which would that mean they do Freebird rule and they bring Philbilly
I
back?
guess it depends on whether Silas has been cleared and is back by then or not, to be
Mm,
honest with you. They've not announced anything for 76 other than the talent that that have agreed to be there so far. So we've still got what, a month till 76, and then it'll be a good couple of weeks after that before it airs anyway. So
definitely so.
watch
Hollywood
this
Haley,
space.
yes, as you like to say, Hollywood Haley J was announced.
I saw that, yeah, from OVW, so that'd be
So
interesting.
that would be a very good one. It'd be interesting to see anybody else. Obviously, it is in the 2300 arena, that being the lovely ECW. Will there be any throwbacks? We'll have to, as you said, watch this space.
NWA are great at surprises for their big anniversary shows, though. They
Oh,
always manage to pull something different out the bag, so
yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. It should be
Oh,
good.
I can't wait to finally see it when it airs, obviously. Trying my best to stay off socials for us. Like, well, not necessarily trying my best to stay off. It's just trying my best to not see what happened, because you
Yeah.
get people that are there.
Although to be fair, I think I'd see a lot of spoilers for the cup, for the
Mm,
Crockett Cup. So NWA are quite good at not, and fans are quite good at not putting stuff out. I saw videos of the Crockett Cup that people had posted, but it wasn't the finishes or anything. It was just little snippets of matches and things. So um unlike some of the other companies, there doesn't seem to be a lot of fans leaking footage, which is quite cool, which I
yes.
like.
To get it, you'd have to literally look
You
for
have
it.
to really look for it.
Yeah, to get it, which hopefully well, I won't be doing that. I would rather
Nah,
wait until it comes on. But coincidentally, UK promotions, just a quick plug here. Next year,
in
UK
January, yeah.
January next year, if you would like the Southern Six on your shows, please contact Gary Ward on X at Gary R Ward, I think it is. He's taking the bookings of the Southern Six for next year. So if you'd like Kerry
All
Morton,
three of them.
all three,
All three of them, yeah. From
all
what I
three of
can
the
gather,
Southern
it's all
Six,
three
yeah,
of them. So you've
yeah.
got your Crockett Cup winners, you've got Alex and Kerry, and then you've obviously got as a tag team with Silas Mason on hand. So I think they're available for singles, triple threats, tags, whatever. I'm excited. I hope they come up to Scotland. If not, I might take a trip down south to see them because I'd love to see
Yeah,
them at again.
I'm gonna see where they're booked, and if obviously I don't have a show in January, unfortunately. If I did, I'd be plugging to get them on, but I don't have a show in January, so I can't ask Mr. Chris over at Ignite if we could use them. But otherwise, we would. Otherwise, I would have done. But yeah, listen, any promoters out there, contact Gary Ward. I think it's Gary R Ward on X. It's Gary Ward on Facebook. I think it's Gary Ward on Instagram. But just get in touch with him. Get the Southern Six on your shows because if you're hot, you're hot, and if you're not, simple as that, really. Speaking of, kind of puts us nicely in to next up, which was Latimer and Morton. Latimer defending the championship, the national. Was it the? It's not the. Is it
National Heavyweight
National
Championship,
Heavyweight
yeah.
Championship? I was right. Yes, I did write that down correctly. National Heavyweight Championship. I love this. This was so good, and I loved it for so many reasons. I loved it because when it was first announced, I was like, oh. Geez, like I think I even put holy shit out on X with it when I saw like when I tweeted it, I was like, wow, this is going to be a great match. I mean, Kerry Morton's, he is literally a legend in the making. We boo the kid. He is so good. Latimer's probably on the run of his life at the moment in
Yeah.
NWA. The match itself was marvelous.
It was great, and interestingly enough, no Southern Six ringside for this one at all.
No, there wasn't, which took me by surprise. I was at least expecting Ricky.
Hmm.
We know um, how he likes
But
to get involved.
no manager's license, so weren't allowed ringside. So it was Kerry on his own,
It was
which is
Kerry.
unusual, very unusual.
But what I liked about it is it showcased Kerry as a talent that he is, as much as
And a sneaky bugger.
yeah, through gritted teeth, we say those words. But Kerry Morton, yeah, they did have a great match. it was only 10 minutes because that was the time limit for the title match, and they hit the 10-minute
They
time.
hit the bell rung, and Tom did not look happy about that at all.
I totally forgot that there was a limit to the match, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Who's rung the bell? What's going
Yeah,
on?"
what's going on? Yeah, but Tom really did not look happy about that because the momentum had gone in his favor by that point.
Yeah,
Because Kerry had taken it to him initially, and like I said, Kerry being a wee sneaky, he'd done a couple of timeouts, timeout, timeout, timeout. And then as Tom was there, he'd kind of a wee sneaky get Tom in at the post or whatever. Tom fell for it every single time, but then it was almost like a switch flipped in Tom, and he just went for it. And I thought he's going to absolutely destroy Kerry, and then the bell went, and that was it.
yeah. The crowd wanted more time. Kerry Morton. Danny Dills has said if it'd gone another 60 seconds, Kerry Morton would be national heavyweight champion.
I don't think so, not
think
this
he's,
time
think
anyway.
he needs to take his glasses off, to be quite honest. But great, great man. I'm hoping they run that back with an extended time limit in the future.
Yeah, I'd love to see that again, to be honest with you. I really would. I thought Kerry looked great, but Tom's Tom, isn't he? And
He is. He is. I just want, and I say this sometimes about matches. I wish it went 15 minutes more or 10 minutes more, but obviously due to the time limit.
it
Normally,
felt like a really quick 10 minutes as
yeah,
well.
it did, and but that's testament to the quality of the match as well.
Yeah,
Did have an annoying break through it, though, which yeah, got to become accustomed to, I suppose, on the CW app these days. But
I know. It's
yeah,
annoying.
it
I'll
is.
not get into that again.
No, we're not
I'll
getting into
not
that.
bother batting about it.
No, no more faffing around. We've got to get used to it. That's what it is. It is what it is. Great seeing some American cereal sometimes in the show. I don't know. But anyway, straight after that, we heard. Well, we kind of heard from the Baron in many ways. Well, to a degree, ish.
We got to look at the Baron.
Got to look at the Baron while Jax was talking, and they were after the Southern Six.
Yeah, that's intriguing.
Yeah. So the Southern Six are going off, potentially got BFT, and now they've got the Baron to deal with, and Baron and Tim,
Yeah, it was
Baron
a
and Jax.
good promo from Jax as well. We don't. I kind of feel like we don't see enough of Jax on the mic.
Yeah, we don't
I
see.
think Jax is brilliant. And him being Baron's tag team partner and mouthpiece is a yeah. I think I'm gonna like what goes on with these guys. To be honest with you, I think they're going to be quite a formidable tag team. To be honest.
I don't know if Jax will take this as a compliment. Do you know who he reminded me of during that interview?
Who?
Batista, with the
Yeah, I
shave
can see
and
that.
the
I
look.
can see that.
I'm hoping I'm not doing him any disjustice, or if don't want him to hate me for that because he'd kill me. But
He's so eloquent and
yeah,
so well spoken. It's not when you look at him, it's not the voice you expect to come
no,
out of him, and I think that makes him more menacing
yeah,
because
it
he's
does.
so calm, and you expect him to come out and all be all right, and he's so calm and cool and collected that makes you think, uh-oh, like, and I
Yeah,
love that about him.
yeah, he's a great. I mean, we had him on before. He's a great guy to have on, and yeah, definitely looks can be deceiving. You still wouldn't want to bump into him in a dark alley,
Mm-mm.
that's for sure.
And I certainly wouldn't want to be on the end of the Baron's claw either. So
No, he did raise that hand up during the interview. Speaking of interviews, I totally forgot, but at NWA 76, we get the return of the backstage. Can't remember her
I
name.
know May Valentine's back. That's
I
exciting.
was going to call her Mariah May, but that's how you say it. May
Yeah, I saw
Valentine.
that yesterday, so it'll be good to see her back because she's not been there for a while. So I know she's been off doing other things and our music shows and stuff like that, and our modeling bits and pieces. But no, I'm excited to see her back. It'll be good.
It will be good to see May back at 76. Can't wait for that as well. But yeah, so Jackson, Baron, Von Storm with the Southern Six in their sights, potentially.
Mm, yeah.
Right? Watch this space, as you like to say. But we had another break at that point. Moved back in to Mims,
A
and he's
geez.
and G's. I always get G's and cheese. We had the cheese on recently. Yeah, G's, and he was picking a fight again with Zion.
Yeah, but it was actually quite interesting to clear up the whole issue about why they've
Mm,
kind of aligned themselves with each other.
yes.
And I actually think it's a really smart move on Mims's part.
Yes, definitely.
Really
Absolutely.
smart move. I like you said, Jesus is a difference maker. Like he's the one that will make the difference. And having Jesus in his corner, I think will be very favourable for Mims moving forward.
Yeah, definitely so. And if he does pick an arm, his Zion's now been pinned, at least by
Yeah.
Latimer. So it's not as if, that can sometimes change the mentality of a match as well. If you're going in against someone
Yeah.
who hasn't been pinned before, you're generally thinking, how the hell am I going to put this guy away? But
Yeah.
now Latimer has done that. So,
It's the whole psychology thing,
Mhm.
isn't it? And as G's quite rightly pointed out, he knows Idol in particular inside out, knows
Yeah.
his strengths, knows his weaknesses. Um, I think this will be a really positive thing for Mims.
Yeah, definitely. So we will see. Probably starting next week. So we think next week it's going to be back to the territories. You may be the one, but there may be one more Tampa taping. What NWA didn't do this week was give us an insight as to what's coming up next week. Normally they put the matches at the bottom. What's coming.
Yeah, there was nothing this week.
There was nothing, and I know we did know that back in June-ish they taped the territories. I mean, it was start early June, wasn't it? They taped back to the
Hmm.
territories. We've had a few of the stars of that show, of those tapings on this show, so it'd be good. I'll be making sure you guys get reacquainted with those by retweeting those videos out or re-Xing, whatever you want to call it. So that could be what's next. We'll wait and see. Speaking of kind of like last matches or so, last week, it come up that Ella Envy was taking on Missa Kate. That was last week's match graphic that was
Hmm.
showing, and it changed. Now, it now changed that Kenzie Paige was defending the women's championship against Missa Kate, which we now, well, think potentially this could be Missa Kate's last hurrah in NWA. We know that she's left the company. So it did, I mean, I kind of knew when that match was coming on who the winner was. I mean, that was,
Yeah.
she weren't going to win and leave with the title. And Kenzie certainly wasn't going to, I don't think Kenzie would drop the title on a power episode. I think that would be saved until a big pay-per-view, maybe 76, who knows. But this was brilliant, this match. Loved it.
I thought Missa was fabulous in this match. And one of the things, not to take away from the wrestling that I loved about this match, you got a real good couple of crowd shots in this one, which I
Mhm.
missed seeing as well. So you got a real good couple of crowd shots to see the guys in attendance in the studio, which I loved. But they were
Yeah.
very, very evenly matched, height-wise, size-wise, everything. Missa seemed a little bit more intense than normal in this one, I thought,
Mhm.
but then it was a big match for her, wasn't it? It was a
Yeah.
championship match, so I wasn't overly surprised by that.
No, exactly. When you go for the Burke, you've got to be ready, right? For
Yeah,
sure.
absolutely.
Yeah, this was really, really good. I can't wax lyrical enough about Kenzie Page and her future. I think even Chelsea Green come out recently and said that the next batch of NXT people that she wants Kenzie to be a part of.
Yeah.
Which, obviously we don't want her leaving the NWA, but as natural progression would give you, you're not going to turn down an opportunity if it comes your way.
No, not a chance, not a
Um,
chance.
and Kenzie, again, there was no Kylie for this.
No, Kylie, she was there by herself doing her own thing, and I'm not, no disrespect to Kylie, she doesn't need Kylie ringside.
She doesn't at all. She's
She
very
really
much
doesn't.
no. She's very capable of getting the job done on her own, and she did. Let's be honest. Kenzie Carr got the victory. There was so
Yeah,
much good
can
stuff.
I just go
Yeah,
back though to the crossface and the
yeah,
bite by Missa? That
yes.
caught me off guard. So Kenzie had Missa in the crossface and Missa bit her hand. And I was like, okay. Danny was going tonto. That was funny. That made
Oh,
me die.
he was going off. Oh, should be a DQ, and
Yeah.
he was going crazy about
But
that.
you know what? You do what you gotta do. So
The championship
I'd
match.
probably have done the same in Mrs. position, to be honest.
You've got to take risks in a championship match. That's, you're going for one of the most prestigious titles in wrestling. So
Yeah.
you have to go for it and you have to take those, I say, educated risks in a sense. You were in a submission. Hey, listen, she was in a submission hold. She had to get out of it, right?
Yeah.
What better way? But as I said, the Kenzie Cutter gets the job done and Kenzie retains the championship. I don't know anyone on that roster right now that can beat Kenzie. right now?
I don't know. And I was thinking about this. So that's Missa. She had quite a few singles matches.
Markova?
Does Markova come back and have another shot? Like, how many
No.
times does that woman need a shot at
And
the
she's
belt? Oh,
beaten Tiffany, right? I'm sure she's beaten Nieves. Maybe Rekka is the only one.
the size difference between Rekka and Kenzie would be quite
Or, of
something.
course, Max
Max.
is the only
Yeah.
other. I mean, does Kylie even fancy a crack at Kenzie? Isn't, it's someone that's gonna, if you're gonna beat Kenzie, she's got so much, she knows her inside out, right?
Yeah. That would be an interesting one, put the sisters against each other.
The Page sisters. I'm sure they've had many battles in their time, but not necessarily on the NWA. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, Max or Rekka to her, I could only see potentially out of the one
Yeah.
left. I
I
can't
don't
see
know.
them.
I really don't know.
I don't know either. It'd be interesting. It'll be interesting. We'll see what happens as Power rolls on. I'm pretty sure at the territories, I'm pretty sure they're going up against some of them from the territories. I'm not sure they're going against each other. We'll have to wait and see. We don't know. But
Yeah.
there's going to be a lot of showcases on that, which we're looking forward to once the territories airs, assuming that that is the territories show next week. Now it's time for the bugbear moment of NWA this week. Main event. Yes.
Not quite main event yet.
No. What have I missed?
We forgot about the Daisy Kills and Talos
Oh
promo.
yeah, so he didn't sing.
He didn't sing. He didn't sing. Man, Talos is huge, isn't he? Like I was just sitting watching, going, "Oh my God, he's a giant!" Like I don't realize. I've never, in fact, have I seen him? I don't know if he was at the shows that I was at, but on TV, he's huge, absolutely enormous.
He is massive. Yes, he didn't sing, but they did say they wanted another shot of the US titles. That
Hmm.
card. So that would be interesting. But yes, Daisy. I wanted him to sing.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wanted him to sing, man. He needs to sing. He needs to play that, whatever you call that instrument. It's not guitar, is it? It's all,
And then, please tell me I did not imagine what I saw after that.
hit me with
The
it.
only slams.
Oh, yes.
I was like, what's this an advert for? They didn't say they were going for an ad break, and I was sitting watching it going,
Yeah.
only, and I'm trying to work out who it was in the video.
I don't know. And I don't want to know. I
And
don't.
at one point, I wondered if it kind of almost looked like Carson Drake's face a little bit, and I was like, surely not. But the
Oh,
actual body didn't look like Car. But then I was like, I think there was a shot of like the bottom half of the face, and I was like, that almost looks like Carson.
he's gone from
I have
chef.
no idea what this is. I have no idea what's coming. I'm sure we'll find out.
I need to watch that bit back to have another look.
Mm.
Yeah, only slams. I did. I did write it with a. I put it underneath
That's
Kenzie.
just in case folk are like, what? It's a parody on OnlyFans. So the segment was a bit sexual, a bit naked bodies, somebody sucking a lollipop and all this sort of stuff. And then it just came up. I can't remember what the tagline was, but it came up with the OnlyFans style logo, but called Only Slams.
Yes, yes,
So,
it
yeah.
did. I did initially think it was an advert.
I
Um,
did as well, but I was like, they didn't say they were going on an ad break, and then I was like, wait a minute, what is going on here? So
listen, it's the NWA, and from what we've seen in the past, it's there's
yeah,
loads
because
of
Cooking with Carson's kind of disappeared again. So
yeah, he's gone from chef to well, assuming it's him, of
it
course.
might not
It
be,
might
but
not
that
be.
was my
Yeah.
first guess. So I don't,
I
I
need
don't.
to rewatch that back, and then I'll have my maybe they'll air some more next week as well. But I need to watch
Yeah.
it back. I'll watch it back after this, and I will see if who I think it is for that. But yes, I did write it down. It was underneath Kenzie, but I had my arm in the way, and I thought it was literally I only slammed with a load of question marks. But now we can move to bugbear time, right? It's the main event of your program in WA. It's EC3 Wrecking Ball Legursky for the,
World Heavyweight Championship on the line.
and you decide to cut the feed. Hmm.
And we didn't know if it was just each other, and I haven't found out if anyone else has the
It
same
could
problem.
it could be that it's a VPN problem because obviously we can't watch the CW app. properly.
What's happening with that, by the way? Have they
Um,
just stopped trying?
I don't know. I don't know.
I
But anyway,
don't.
it could just be that how we're watching it. I don't know if anybody else had the issue with it, but so the EC3 at this point was going for a first press at
Hmm.
this point of the program. And all of a sudden it started counting down. It was saying Bugs Bunny or Bugs something was coming on next. And I'm like, what the fuck's this? I figured, oh, maybe it's just a little thing, like little something that's going on. And I looked at my time and I was like, there's 8 seconds left. What is going on? And then it cut off.
And
Um,
it cut off for me too. But it was
so
a good
it
match.
was. And considering like Wrecking Ball size and EC3 is a big guy as well, sometimes those matches you think, oh, is that gonna, is that gonna hinder the match? But it really didn't.
Mm-mm. It really didn't. I mean, the amount of clotheslines that EC3 tried on Legursky, and he just kind of was like, whoa, but never took him
Wobbly.
down.
Yeah,
And Legursky had EC3 in the ropes and in the corner multiple times during this match.
yeah,
Multiple times.
he did. It was really, really good. And it was just, it kind of surprised me about how good it was, to be honest, because I was like, wow, is this like, well, I was sort of thinking to myself, like, I was expecting there to be a lull in the match because of the size, because, sometimes the conditioning, but no, it was,
Legursky can move,
yeah.
man. Legursky can
For
move.
someone that weighs 340, 350, he can certainly go. And he's also one that doesn't get tired quick. As I say, the fatigue didn't
Mm-mm.
really set in. Um, and then yeah, they decided to cut the feed. So we didn't know at that point who won, but you messaged the great Joe Garley for us to say, look, who won and how.
We have
And
a podcast to do. What's the finish?
and apparently EC3 won with 1%.
Which is not surprising, but we don't know how long. Well, I
Mm.
guess it was fairly quickly after that point because he'd gone for the first praise and
Yeah.
then it just cut. So
He could have just hit it straight away. I would have thought he may have had to bring him down to his knees because did he not hit one with Tyrus when Tyrus was on his knees because he couldn't necessarily get the 1%er on him
I can't
standing?
remember. I
Or it might have been
think
another
so.
big guy.
Yeah.
Did he take on Judias or Talos or one of those other guys? He's done something to one of the big guys and he couldn't get it
And
on.
knocked him down.
He had
Yeah.
to knock him to his knees to hit the 1%er. So it may have been that he done that to Legursky. Well, we don't know. That's the whole point. We don't know. What we might be able to do in a couple of weeks when his diary's free, we can ask EC3 ourselves. Because we'll be bringing him on soon, and hopefully in a few weeks once his diary gets lighter, we're going to have him. But we're going to have him for a whole hour.
Ooh,
BC3 for a whole
okay.
1 hour. So get your questions ready, Fee. NWA Spotlight featuring EC3. I better announce that officially soon. I know it's on the podcast, so it'll go out there so that people will know it is coming. But once I've got the dates out, we'll do a whole video package and stuff like that. And he will be coming soon onto the program, which will be great. But now you're going away again. So does that mean you've got yet another weekend off, or is this wrestling related?
This is wrestling related. So it is Belladrum Music Festival up in
Oh,
Bewley
yes.
near Inverness this weekend. Premier British Wrestling are always in attendance up there, but it's topped and tailed by W3L. So tomorrow morning at the crack of dawn, I am filling the car up with the boys, not my boys, the boys. And the Aunt Ailey, the boys Aunt Ailey, and we are heading up to Bewley. It's about 4 hour drive up there, get an accreditation, get our camp set up, and then we've got another hour drive to Elgin for the summer W3O Summer Spectacular in Elgin, which we do every year. So we're there tomorrow night. Back to the music festival to party for a little bit, and then Friday and Saturday, Premier British Wrestling are I don't know what tent we're in. Last year it was the Venus Flytrap Circus tent. But we've got shows Friday and Saturday. W3L are in Golspie on Saturday night, and then W3L are in Dalkeith on Sunday afternoon. So lots and lots going on. Took Monday off work to recover because I think I'll be feeling every inch of my 46 years after sleeping in a tent in a field for 3 nights.
I am sure you will. What happens after that? Have you got a weekend off, or is there more on the horizon?
No, straight into the following weekend is Pro Wrestling Scotland. I can't remember if it's New Mains or somewhere else next weekend. I'm sorry, TJ. that's my focus next week. I'm kind of just trying to get this weekend out of the way. But yeah, Pro
Yeah.
Wrestling Scotland are back next weekend, so that'll be fun. Couple of shows across August, and then yeah, I've got a few over the month, but I'll fill you in on them as and when they come.
Cool, cool, cool. Well, we have to do two congratulations again. I know we've done this last week. Congratulations to Mark Drew for winning the Turnbuckle Championship a couple of Sundays ago.
That's painful for you, isn't it?
Well, it was painful for me, but now I've changed the opponent for him. Well, no, sorry. Let me rephrase. I've added. And to give anyone a hint, I've called a few close personal friends, and yeah, I don't know if that title reign's going to be lasting after September, but we'll have to wait. But to be fair to Mark, he hasn't done. He was graceful. Is that the word? Graceful.
Gracious.
Gracious, yeah, gracious. He was gracious. He's not given me any stick or anything like that. He's seeming to take the championship seriously, which is it's good to see. But come September, my man, you may not have. You're going to be this way. It's going to be a real test for you, Marky boy. So be prepared and get ready. And congratulations to Tommy Kyle, who also won the Ignite Championship at Buckle Up off of Adonis Payne and G Money. And your first defense has already been announced. You will be taking on True Grit Connor Mills in September. Aftermath, go to 96 Eventbrite or download the Eventbrite app, put in Ignite Aftermath and get the tickets to see that and the Turnbuckle title and a lot more to be announced from Ignite. Of course, we're changing focus. We will have EC3 on very, very soon. So keep your eye out for when that is happening. There's more stuff to come, but quite frankly, I'll tell you as and when I can and when I will. There's lots of stuff bubbling away with some former WWE talents that I'm talking to that may or may not be a free agent, and one may or may not be the modern day Maharaja, but we'll discuss that a bit more when I can. But Fee, it's been wonderful as ever to talk some NWA with you. We'll do the
Always.
same again next week. Hopefully, we'll be able to watch the whole show.
Yeah.
And hopefully there'll be some more signings. There'll be a lot more stuff to talk about. But until then, keep it locked on our socials at HTT Buckle on X, at Hitting the Turnbuckle Podcast, at all other social media platforms. I'll be back tomorrow with Mr. Blue Meanie. I'll also be back with the Dynamite review, with the TNA review, with the SmackDown review, with the Rampage review, and the Collision review all over the weekend and on Monday. So keep it locked on that. But if you're an NWA fan, until next week, everybody, take care and goodbye.